Howdy all. Well, it looks like I'm fucking you over with the light again. Bear with me. That better? Certainly doesn't feel much better. Anyway. Now that I'm, metaphorically speaking, on fire, by that I mean pissed off. There's a little something I wanted to talk about. Strange that. Not at all. So I've got this little bit of a dilemma, and I've done this video a couple of times and I haven't been happy with it any time, because I do that thing where I'm thinking for far too long, leaving far too many gaps and pauses between sentences and shit like that. Probably making myself look a bit like a div. Sometimes I wonder if I actually am a bit of a div with some of the life choices I make. Anyway, so let's talk about this whole investment thing, shall we? And I'm not talking about any kind of like investment banking. I can't give anyone financial advice. I'm not in a position to do that for starters. I just mean in how I live my lifestyle. Right? But this is the thing. I wanted to do this little sort of comparison. And I get that, you know, some could argue, oh, well, you're comparing an inanimate object versus a person. And it's like, right, okay. You got a point if you were to say that. So, I've got this 25-year-old. She's had about 5 previous owners. You could say kind of quite high mileage. I'd say like 65,000 miles on the clock or something like that. You know, bodywork's a little bit tatty. But, yeah, she's a Sally Gunner, you know. She's a runner, you know. She's whang, you know, goes for it. I've had a bunch of things happen over the time, and I'm sort of thinking, right, well, you know, what do I do? Do I invest more money? Do I invest more money into her? Or, you know, do I just call it a day and get a younger model, right? And I was sort of thinking to myself, well, in all the years that I've had this sort of air quotes commitment, right? And this is how I see these things. It's a commitment, and, you know, you have to invest into commitments. So over the years, I mean, I dread to think how much I've spent. Like, I won't ever add it up. But it's got to a point now where the cost of keeping, you know, it's hitting halfway towards the market value. I am, of course, talking about a 1998 Thundercat, in case anyone's wondering, right? But you see, the thing is, this is the difference. Now, if I was talking about a person, or for starters, if they had 65,000 miles on the clock, I ain't even interested. The bodywork's a bit tatty. Some things you can kind of let go, but not so much others, you know, because personal choices and stuff like that, right? But when it comes to people and relationships, I'm talking more so on in the sense of romantic relationships. You see, I'm unwilling to invest as much in a person anymore as I am in any of my vehicles, right? Because you see, the thing is, it's what I get in return. You see, I know full well that even with a bike of that age, 1998, you know, 25 years old, you know, despite the high mileage and the bodywork not being all that, you see, I can keep on investing, and that machine will keep on doing what it's doing. You know, doing what it does, what it's designed to do, right? With no argument and no issue of how many other bikes I wanted to have, right? And I'm not saying I'm for people having like polyamorous relationships. If that's your thing, that's your thing. For me, it ain't for me. I'm a monogamous type of guy when it comes down to relationships with people. But, you know, truth be told, I can't see it as being a good financial investment, having to constantly shell out on someone that is probably never going to be happy anyway. You know, it's this thing of like the amount of chicks out there. I want someone that makes me happy. It's like, well, you're already playing a losing game as the guy, because if they aren't happy, you know, before they met you, you know, what hoops and bounds are you going to have to jump through in order to get this person to be happy? And then even so, how long is that happiness going to last? Is it a matter of time before they're looking for something else to be upset or angry or just generally have the hump about? I've met enough women like that in my life, believe me. You know, I think some of them just wake up and it's like, right, who and what can I be angry over and about now because fuck you reasons? And then they go about themselves with this attitude, and they usually have quite a passive aggressive attitude. So like, you know, what 1 minute they're like gunning for an argument with someone, then 5 or 10 minutes later, you know, and some people like to say, oh, well, that's kind of like a little bit like borderline. It's like, it's, you know, yeah, it kind of is. I was actually supposed to say bipolar, but it came out, just borderline just came out because that's exactly what it is. Bipolar's not quite the same in my opinion, at least not from my experiences. You know, I'm just saying. But the point is this, it's like you can't live your life, you know, trying to make someone else happy all the time when they ain't going to be happy because they were never happy in the first place. And I think realistically, no matter how hard I try, I'm finding it harder and harder to want to, air quotes, invest any of my time, effort, energy, especially money, into a person. You see, the person has that, and I get it, sometimes people aren't compatible. I'm not like some bitter guy that's just pissy because he can't get a girlfriend or some shit like that. No. I'm just tired of the whole game, the whole shebang, you know, just trying to meet up with people, trying to go on dates, and then sometimes you're not feeling it, and then sometimes you get ghosted, sometimes you're not feeling it, so you ghost them, and all of that. And this is just it. Like, I can't see there being any point in me investing in anyone. I haven't met anyone for such a long time that is, you know, I'm talking relationship potential. I haven't met anyone that's actually worth the time and effort. Right, and the thing is, whenever I have put the time and effort in, it's usually only been a matter of time before, you know, not even the honeymoon period wears off. I think it's just like they stop being nice. They stop being the person that you first met, and then, you know, whether you want to call it, whether the mask slips or you're waiting for the other shoe to drop or whatever, and then they just turn into some raving lunatic or some ravenous bellend who's just never going to be happy anyway, right? No matter what you do for them or what, anything like that, doesn't matter. Pointless, absolutely fucking pointless. But this is just it. And like I say, when it comes to investing my time into people, like, I've got less and less time for people as every day passes. Like, I just can't be asked. You know, it's like, especially like you go on the dating apps. I mean, the dating apps are the worst place to be at anyway. Like, you go, well, let's just have a little game. How many? We're only 8 minutes. We're 8 minutes, so I've got to move my head around here. 8:08. Look at that, 8:08 on the clock. I wonder what 8:08 is actually, because I haven't done that shit in a little while. Might have a look at that while we're doing that actually. Just. Come on, knob jockey. Everything takes so long. And the thing is, with a lot of these things, it's just like a complete shit show. Saying it for what it is. Ah, God. Doesn't like music. Really. Oh, here we go. So this chick, I'm not saying she's a bad person, but I'll try and sort of put myself in this scenario. So she wants to train her dog to play piano. Loves a good recital on a Sunday afternoon while she drinks tea. Do you think it's achievable? Oh, well, of course she's... what you guys can't see, she's a horse type of character. You know. And the dog's actually kind of cool, but this is it. Like, I'm quite wary of chicks with pets and stuff like that because, you know, sometimes it's a bit of a red flag. I'm just saying. But it's just like, then you get all the exercise freaks as well. It's just, to be fair, man, a lot of these profiles are just cardboard cutouts of one another, and it's like, what's like, well, and you don't even know that the profiles are genuine in the first place, you know, and I just can't justify it, man. It's like, well, what's the point? Like, you invest, having been one of them guys that invested time and time again into people. There you go, that deals with that. You know, and invested time and time again in people who I thought had my best interests at heart. You know, or, well, not just mine, but in the sense of the relationships, I suppose, where it was a thing previously, And no, I'm not bitter because I've recently been in a relationship or some shit like that. No, I've been single for quite a while now. I appreciate not having a headache, not having a drama, not having to jump through hoops to meet someone's expectations of unrealism. And this is just it. Like, I'd rather put my money into things that actually benefit me in the long run, which unfortunately isn't people. Well, I say unfortunately. You know, it's one of them. But anyway, that's all like what I wanted to talk about in this video, is just sort of like how we invest our time, money and effort into people and relationships, and, you know, just how you end up walking away from these things and just realising that, well, what's the fucking point, you know? You know, the air quotes powers that be have been working so long against men anyway to just, you know, drag us through the mud, make us look dumb, stupid, useless. You know, women don't need no man. Yeah, until they do need a man. And then a lot of them still kind of like kowtow to that anyway. You know, they get their little simpy capes on and start giving it all that. And it's sort of like, really? I know I've got time for that. Anyway, I want to wrap this one up. 10 minutes, nice, short and sweet. I think, you know, quit while I'm ahead with that one. But yeah, it's sad. I think in a way that, like, you know, this is the way things have panned out. It's like, it doesn't bother me, like, not having someone that I'm not wasting my time with. I see that as a plus every single time. Like, what would I rather go back to, say, like, being in one of the relationships that I was in previously, where I wasn't totally happy, where things weren't equal, where, you know, the double standards were definitely a thing, you know, or would I rather just my own peace and quiet and investing in things that make me happy? And although buying silly little add-ons for whatever vehicle, whether, you know, stereo head units, speakers, whatever the case may be, you know, although we do it primarily to make ourselves feel better, I think to a degree we kind of extend that a little bit and kind of expect the car to feel better about itself, or the bike or whatever, even though they are inanimate objects. I'm just saying. Anyway, wrapping this one up. Thought, comments, opinion, feel free to jot them down. To the next one. Stay cool, stay free. You're having a good weekend. No, not weekend, it's only Tuesday. That's what kind of a week I'm having. It's been shit. Till the next one, stay cool, stay free. 3 more days of this crap. Ugh. Might phone in sick. Peace out.